Okay, guys, today we are talking to a good buddy of mine, John Casey. The Casey family own a resort in the northwest of Ireland called Rosapenna. You've probably seen Rosapenna come across your social media feeds or seen it on YouTube videos. But they have a golf course there called St. Patrick's that at the time I think was the number one new golf course in the world. It's still ranked, I think, in the top 40 or 50, depending on the list in the world. But they've got other great golf courses there. They've got Sandy Hills. They've got an old Tom Morris. Incredible resort. But we're talking to my buddy John, not just about golf, kind of generically, but John's been a member of Royal Portrush for a number of years. John was silly enough to invite me as his guest to play in a member guest there a few years ago too. I guess it was last fall. And we're talking all things Open Championship because obviously the Open is back at Royal Portrush, which in my opinion is probably the greatest golf course that I've ever played outside of the U.S. Royal Portrush is spectacular and will be riveting television. How are things at Rosapenna?
Yeah, good. Everything's good. It's very busy May, early June. It's quieting down for the last couple of weeks. And then from Friday on for the next 3-4 weeks, it's just crazy with the Open and then Cargolf's father and daughter. And then the August bank holiday weekend, the first weekend of August. It's a very busy period. And then kind of the last couple of weeks of August, it'll quieten down a little bit before the kind of big September rush of US golfers. It'll last probably through the Ryder Cup. And then a little bit of domestic for the last 3-4 weeks, and then we close.
Right.
So it's very traditional what happens.
Yeah, wonder why does it slow down right around now?
We find it kind of slows around the 4th of July. There's kind of a couple of weeks for the American, especially with the Open coming. A lot of people are and Portrush obviously hasn't been available at all for visitors for the last 2-3 weeks, and so it's kind of a combination of things.
Yeah, we leave. So for the trip that, Jack, last year we were up at John's place at Rosapenna. That same crew, we leave next Wednesday to go over to do the old course and stuff. So it's funny. Don't put this on there, Jack, 'cause I don't want to get in trouble. But we go to Ireland like 4 years straight, and then we'll make the obligatory trek back to Scotland. But Ireland's just better. I know, John, you're partial, so it's not fair. But I always say, if we were just talking golf, and, I believe Portrush is the best golf course in Ireland full. I know there's obviously Northern Ireland, but for us Americans, I say Portrush is the best over on the island. And, you can compare that to Turnberry. Turnberry, I think, is the best in Scotland. So if you go pound for pound, the golf courses are probably equal, we'll say. But man, the stuff outside of golf, the food and beverage, the pubs, the music, the people, I feel like the Irish like us better and the Scottish kind of tolerate us.
Yeah, I suppose I am somewhat biased, but yeah, I think it's just we've had less tourism, and definitely the more remote parts you go to, and even Portrush, because Portrush didn't get the tourists with the troubles in Northern Ireland really until the last 20 years. So they're just more they're more keen to see people coming, and no disrespect to the Scottish, but they've been going there for 40-50 years playing golf.
Oh, yeah.
They come from all over the world to go there and play golf. They come from all over the UK to go there and play golf. I still meet people in England when you're in England that have never been to Ireland, which to me is nuts because it's the island adjacent to them.
Yeah, it literally blows my mind. It's funny too because I talk to people almost every day about how good golf is in England and how many people have been to Ireland 27 times but have never gone and played, Sunningdale, which I know you and I've talked about before. I think Sunningdale Old is one of the greatest golf courses in the whole world. But even going up north and doing Liverpool and Lytham, St. Anne's and Birkdale, so many people have never done England, and it's shockingly good.
The whole Southport region, Hillside, Birkdale, Southport and Ainsdale, it's
What's your favorite in that, we'll call it, I know it's not Southport, basically, the Southport area. What's your favorite
I thought Birkdale was brilliant. I thought Birkdale was right up there. I'd agree entirely with what you're saying, that Turnberry is the best golf course in the UK. Definitely the best golf course in Scotland. And, but I thought Birkdale in terms of what I've played over there, was right up there in quality of a links golf course. I thought it was brilliant, and I would agree entirely that Portrush is the best course in the island of Ireland.
Yeah. So that's why I like talking to John, is because nobody ever agrees with me. Actually, John kind of does on certain things.
I think you stole that from me. They're my two. I say that all the time. I think this is plagiarism.
Anybody who listens, here's what I've said this 1,000 times, and I mean this very sincerely. I think the best golf course in Scotland is Turnberry. My favorite golf course in Scotland, though, and it's not even close, is North Berwick.
North Berwick.
I think North Berwick is, I'm wearing a National Golf Links logo here. I think it's like the 1B potentially of my favorite place to ever play golf. I love North Berwick. But like I say Portrush is the best. I don't know if it's my favorite in Ireland, on the island of Ireland. I mean, it's hard to say I don't love playing County Down almost as much as I love playing Portrush. So yeah, it's
pretty weird how you haven't said that Portrush is the best, but your favorite to play is St. Patrick's.
I was going to go there. No, I will tell you. Do you know what one of my favorite, most memorable rounds is? Is the back nine of your other course. Is it not the Old Tom? Is it the Sandy? Is that
Sandy
the one?
Hills.
Is that the one where we did the flop shots onto 18 off the back porch?
No, it was Old Tom.
That's okay. So the back nine of Old Tom was about as much fun as I remember having played golf.
Sandy Hills is a course that I had to come out with the jelly babies to your guy that.
Oh yes. No wait, that was it. No, that was on St. Patrick's, wasn't it?
No, that was Sandy Hills. Because I drove onto 12 fairway with beers and jelly babies, and one of your other groups was more concerned about getting the beers before the guy got the sugar.
Yeah. So this is one of the greatest Gano crew golf stories that we've had. We're traveling with Spencer Mellon. From some of these videos in the past, you guys have seen Spencer. He's the guy that, Oakmont, born and bred kid. He's a decent golfer as a +5 or something. But he's also I think, type 1 diabetic. And we're playing golf, and he looks at me at one point, and he looks really grim, and he says, "Hey, RG, I'm about 6 minutes away from having a real problem." I'm like, "What's wrong?" He said, "Sugar's messed up. I don't have anything in my golf bag. I thought I did. I don't." So I called John, and literally it was 5 minutes later, John comes ripping down whatever fairway it was, 12, 13, in a Land Rover, ripping down the middle of the fairway. And
just a quick ride of a ball.
No big deal. No big deal that we are just inside of a Land Rover.
What took you so long?
Thank you, sir.
That is service. If he drives on the green, I'm going to... So not only do they have a great property and great golf, but he's also, John's now a lifesaver. He saved Spencer's life by feeding him. But what's funny is the boys were pissed in the group in front of us, I think. They were a group in front of us, that he came to give us the sugar first instead of delivering the beer to them first. That just kind of shows...
There's a priorities issue there.
Yes. They were like, "Screw Spencer, we need our beer." No, but we had fun.
It's still cold.
Yeah, it was still cold too. The back nine of that Old Tom, and then I'll literally never forget. We're sitting on the back porch of like the pro shop, and like there's a porch, and we had some beer sitting out there. And I actually came in to ask if it was okay. We ended up getting our wedges out, and from the porch area, hitting down onto the 18th green, and doing just kind of some gambling and having a blast. So it was fun. Between that, St. Patrick's is obviously freaking brilliant. Some of the most beautiful picturesque holes. And the day we played it, it was like 72, not a cloud in the sky, perfectly sunny. But going up to the Harbor Bar afterwards, and having a few drinks, and one of our boys got a guitar and performed on stage and everything. It was fun. If you haven't been up to Rosapenna, go see the golf course, go see the Casey boys. Everything is great up there. So obviously we'll get that part out. The other thing I want to talk to you about, though, you are, I think I'm allowed to say this, John, you are a member of Royal Portrush. I was lucky enough to be invited to play an international member guest at Portrush with John, of which he may never invite me back because I may or may not have been so nervous I couldn't hit a golf ball straight for most of the rounds. It was bad. But wanted to talk obviously with the Open coming up. What are your thoughts on, first off, the first Open coming back since whatever it was, 52 or something, when Lowry won it. But what's it like to be a proud Irishman and having the Open Championship being back there and going to what I believe is the best golf course in the world outside of the U.S. at Royal Portrush? Just kind of give us your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. I was at Portrush a couple of weeks ago playing golf, and just to see the scale. I mean, this event's way bigger than the 2019 event. The R&A have obviously
really?
seen the the scale of some of the buildings. There's a building on the right hand side of 2 green, 3 tee that's just absolutely enormous. It must be 60, 70,000 square feet, overlooking the entire golf course. I think you can see almost every hole from the hospitality. It's just crazy big, and I mean the whole build out of this Open is just massive, and it's just fantastic. It's amazing. It must be some of the biggest mobile portable buildings in the UK and Ireland are just coming over for a golf event. A couple of hours from here in Portrush. It's just fantastic to see. The world focus of golf is going to be in Portrush next week. It's terrific.
It's funny that there's certain golf courses that show well. Like there's certain golf courses that don't show well for these. Whether it's a major or not. I know I have a love of Portrush, as all golfers should, but my God, it showed so well. And Lowry winning it, I mean, it was kind of awesome. So I do think the golf world is waiting to see it again because it was so good the first time. Is that also, that's got to be the highest spot on the golf course, right? That big building?
I actually read something today in Jeff Shackelford's Quadrilateral that the highest point in the golf course is 3 tee, and the lowest point of the golf course is 7 fairway, which both make an awful lot of sense when you read them. But if you had to guess what they were before you read them, you might find it hard to figure out what's what.
Well, I just remember
it is just above the highest point. Yeah, so that is right above the highest spot in the golf course.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome because the view. There's certain times. I get to do all these fun golf trips, and John, you've obviously been able to play a lot of wonderful spots. But I will tell you that one of the snapshots that I'll never be able to get out of my head, the first time we came to Portrush, this is well before I knew you. This was a year after meeting John Murray for the first time or so, probably. We were coming up the top of the hill, up by whatever, there's that inn or something up there, way at the top of the hill, and we're coming down the bus. And there's a moment where the golf course opens up.
Oh, yeah.
And you can just look out, and it seems as if it's kind of like Oakmont in the sense of from the right vantage point, you can see everything. And I remember seeing that moment of saying, like, holy shit, are there actual fairways down there? Like, how are we going to play the place? Because it just looks so overwhelming and otherworldly.
Yeah. That the Royal Court Hotel, when you come around the corner, you probably came from the east, from the County Down direction, and it's just, as you say, you just come around, and it just there isn't kind of a, some places you start to see the dunes from a distance, and you start to see, maybe the sea, the ocean or whatever, but Portrush, you don't see anything, and then you see everything, and it's just
it literally goes from like just looking out on the coast and looking out at the water,
the coast
to
and
going over the
pasture
hill
land,
to boom, but literally it's like. It just pops up, and I've replayed that moment in my mind so many different times. It's kind of like you see it, and it's like, oh, like it's just this. It's really one of the best reveals I've ever had in golf. I mean, I think Ireland may have 2 of the best reveals ever, or the island of Ireland. The reveal on the drive in to Portrush, and the reveal on 9 at County Down when you get to the top of the hill, and it's just like everything opens up below you. Those are moments I'll never forget. So. Do you want to tell what happened on the first tee? Do you remember the first tee of the
member guest? I don't really.
You don't really remember? So I have not played any competitive golf. I played in the pro member at Philly Cricket, where I didn't have any pressure on me whatsoever because my partner carried me for 2 full days. The next competitive round of golf I had was the international member guest at Portrush with you. We get up to the tee box, and it's a tough first tee anyhow, right? There's like OB and pot bunkers, and it's an intimidating first tee shot. And there's like 20 people that were out on the tee box as well, because everybody knows John. So there's a lot of people out there watching. John's a good golfer. John gets up there, and John's got a unique swing in the sense his backswing is faster than my downswing. It's really quite impressive on how fast he can take the club back. But he popped one up. No, wait, you blasted it right, didn't you?
I think so.
Yeah. I think it was in like across the street of the trailer park, I think. It's literally, so he blasted one right. And now I'm nervous as hell already. I have a really bad travel migraine. It was not pretty. And I'm standing over the ball just saying, just hit it in the air. Just get it in the air. Don't throw up. Just hit it in the air. And I took a full swing with my driver. I posed. I may have hit it 125 yards straight up in the air. I mean, it was like, I've never done it before. I took on the top of my driver, there's an idiot mark on my driver from how high I hit it on the first tee. And I didn't even want to look back at anybody. I was so embarrassed. I think John even said some smart ass comment like, great swing or something. And I just put my head down and just walked right to the hole.
Yeah. Thanks for getting in about mind blasting right there. I don't know if you need
I had to. If I'm going to embarrass myself, I'm sure shit going to tell you that you blasted yours off. I mean,
borderline out of bounds. It was just on the line, I think. Yeah,
I don't know. I think that we had our best score on that hole on day one was like a 6. So we'll forget that from our memory banks. But what is just random Portrush stuff? What's your favorite hole on the golf course?
Probably 5 or 15.
All right, hold on. I got to remember which one 5 is. So 5 is 5 the one going down?
5 is the one going down, slight dogleg to the right with the kind of green that drapes over the
the green's like an infinity green, like right off the edge of it looks like it's on the cliff.
Yeah, it's a perfect infinity green. Yeah, exactly.
I do think that I think 5 might be because the 6 tee box is the one with the bench that everybody takes the photo, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think that may be my favorite spot on the golf course too. That hole 5 because you're way high. In fact, looking back, isn't there a tee box like even way back up on the hill even further?
Yeah, there's tee box up. I think there is. Yeah, up behind it.
Hold on. I don't know what this day. The 23rd. So that is my favorite spot on the course. I did the obligatory photo, on the bench. It's douchey. Everybody does it. It's kind of like when you go over the Swilken Bridge for the first time. You got to stand there and put like your foot up on the edge and do the photo. But that may be one of my favorite spots. Which one's 15? So I have to go through them one by one. It'll take me forever.
15's one before Calamity, before the famous par 3. Yeah. So it's similar. You drive up to the crest of the hill and then you play to gain almost an infinity green with, it's a really, really cool green.
Yeah, and Calamity it has to be a top 18 par 3 on earth. I think that I've played there, let's say 6 times, 7 times, something like that. I think I've hit, is it possible that I've hit a 6-iron and a driver? Depending on where the wind is and stuff.
It was definitely driver's possible, but 6-iron.
Maybe it's a 5-iron instead. Yeah. I don't hit very far.
No, if it was very windy behind you, all you have to do is get up the left-hand side. It'll run up.
I do remember also hitting, I think I hit 3-wood to about 20 feet on a hole that we needed to put a score, and I'm fairly certain I 3-putted from 20 feet to make a bogey, so that was great too. All these wonderful memories of Portrush.
Coming back.
Yeah, and talking Open Championship, who do you have your money on to win this thing?
Obviously, it'd be great to see Rory do well. It'd be huge if he's in contention on Sunday, but I think Tyrrell Hatton will do well. I know he finished quite well there back in 2019. He won the Dunhill a couple of times, and he seems to be playing pretty well.
I don't gamble, but Tyrrell Hatton. So, did you see?
I just think he's gonna do well. I think it's.
Have you seen the videos of him at Oakmont? He threw a full on, and obviously Hatton has got a huge personality, and I think people kind of find that endearing, even though it's a little bit rough sometimes. it was hysterical. He was super pissed off at the golf course at Oakmont the entire time he was there.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that. I seen some bits and pieces. He made a really good quote about how, you know, all the players were frustrated and getting really annoyed with themselves and they were struggling as a result. But he's used to that because that's basically every week for him, which I thought was really funny.
He has like
he's
at
used
Impact.
to meltdowns.
I've seen him say like, "I am the worst golfer ever," or you're terrible. I mean, he's pretty comical. I do believe. If anybody ever sees this video and the PGA Tour gets a hold of it, they should listen to this. They should have like an adult-only channel, because it will be filled with bad words and expletives, where they mic up specific players and caddies. And I bet you that the viewership would go through the roof. Like, I would pay money to listen to Jordan Spieth and is it Michael Greller or whatever his name is, interact, because they have to hate each other during most of the rounds. Like, I would legitimately pay money to watch that.
Yeah, no, they definitely. I think so. It'd be fun. It'd just be funny listening to him. I mean, I've heard some of those old videos with Mickelson and Bones and just how detailed they got into it.
Oh.
So it's that would be cool to listen to Grella and Spieth.
Yeah, I think it would be great not only just to for the entertainment part of it. Like a buddy of mine said, whenever I play golf, I always go back and try to replay the Jordan Spieth quote in my head. And then that video is followed with Jordan hitting a shot and screaming the F word as loud as he can. So not only would it be entertaining, but I think as people who love the game of golf, how much fun would it be to like get inside the brains of how these people hit the ball and manage the course and think about shots. And I just think it would be really fun. So PGA Tour, anybody, if you're listening, please get a pay-per-view channel or something where you mic up some of the players. Do you think, and I'm very partial to a specific guy, I want Rory to win, but I really, really, really would love to see Tommy Fleetwood try to win something. The him not winning a few weeks ago with the lead, it was like gut-wrenching to watch that. He's too good of a player to not even have a win on tour. But I feel like he'd be a fun guy to see win it.
Yeah, it'd be cool. He did well as well in Portrush. I think he finished second or third the last time in 2019. And again, links will suit him, and it just depends. I remember the Open I attended in Royal Birkdale. He was one of the favourites. He was playing very well back then. It's maybe 8-10 years ago. But he definitely will be up there, I'd say, as somebody who could be in contention. I think the weather will have a big part of it. Because putting's maybe his downfall, and putting's obviously not as important at the Open as it might be in some of the other majors. It's just kind of keeping the ball in play and hitting greens.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you think, as a guy who's played Portrush, more than most people that I know, what do you think is the key to playing, kind of keeping a score going at Portrush?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's like any links. It's just no lost balls. It's keeping the ball in play. I mean, McIlroy obviously last year had it, or last time in 2019 had that, bad tee shot in the first that effectively ended his tournament. And he played pretty well. Once he settled down, he played quite well. I think he definitely played really well in round 2. And, if he'd shot anything in round 1, and then he'd have been in contention going into the third round if that was the case. So it's just not having those, I suppose, massive mistakes. The rough in Portrush is still pretty bad in places, and it's going to be like that. And if if it gets very windy and you hit something on the wrong side and the wind catches it, all of a sudden you might hope it's lost because the lie could be that bad, and it's that difficult to recovery.
I think, and I hope, maybe I'm trying to speak it into existence, but the amount of pressure that was on Rory for the last Open Championship at Portrush, the amount of pressure that this guy's had, that's why I'm trying to give him a hall pass for some of the dumb stuff that I feel like he's said over the last, couple of weeks or couple of months. But the amount of pressure that the tour, that he probably felt for coming home to play in an Open Championship, in Ireland, didn't he have the course record there at Portrush for a while too, or something?
Yeah, and the original course before they redesigned holes 7 and 8 and dropped the original 17 and 18, he shot 61 in the north of Ireland, again about 15 years ago, 2006, 2007.
When did he shoot that?
I I think it was 2006 or 2007. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Probably 05 or 06 maybe.
That's insane. It's just insane to think that somebody should shoot 61. And I did see the course before they did the 2 new holes.
He's only 16 or 17 years old as well. That's the
I remember him being young. I remember you telling me that.
It's not just a number; it's how young he was and the fact that he was able to hold that together. Like, if he thought he was going to shoot 65 or 66, and he just kept making birdies and got to 61 at the most iconic course in the country.
That's insane. But I do think that with the course record, with being kind of the pride and all the pressure of the tour and all the things, that was hard. Like I think everybody was going to root for him, but he had to feel. But I'm hoping, you'd say after he won the Masters that the pressure is kind of off of him now. Like he can just go play. But he didn't have obviously a very good showing at the U.S. Open here at Oakmont. So I hope he pulls it together. Well, we'll see what happens. A couple random questions for you, John, and then we'll be done because I know you guys are busy. What is the best golf course that you've played in America, and what is your favorite golf course you've played here in the States? I'm trying to alienate you, so whatever you say, the other ones will never invite you back to play.
Yeah. I mean, Pine Valley is probably the best course I've played. And I've been fortunate enough to play Marion a couple of times. I just remember the first time in Marion, the last 6-7 holes. I just thought it was just extraordinary, And I was there last November as well. We got delayed on a flight home from Philadelphia or from Pinehurst. We had to connect through Philadelphia, and we got stuck in Philadelphia for a day and played Marion in early November. So it was just, they're not. There's probably a lot. If I thought about it a little more, I probably have different answers, but they would be the first two, random questions.
We're going to have to take a sidebar from this conversation. Wait, so you got stuck in Philly, and I didn't get a call. We could have had drinks and or dinner, and that you went and played Marion instead of me, who I've invited you to play cricket how many times at this point? All right, cool.
It's funny how quickly.
All that St. Patrick's talk earlier, Jack, cut it out.
It's funny how quickly we got Marion set up after we realised that we were going to be stuck in Philadelphia for a day. It worked out pretty well.
Oh, yeah, it seems great. That was awesome. Thanks for the call. Next time I'm in the northwest of Ireland, I'm going to call somebody. I'm not calling anybody else. By the way, I will tell you, I talk about it all the time, the northwest of Ireland trip coming up to see you guys. Between St. Patrick's and Nairn and Portneuf, holy crap. There's such good golf up there, but the round that sticks out outside St. Patrick's is the one that sticks out, obviously. The back nine at the Old Tom, and then playing that Crutch Island. Oh, that was a blast. So you guys, anybody listening, go to the northwest of Ireland. It's spectacular. Yeah,
Portneuf and Crutch is a great day trip because do Portneuf in the morning, have some lunch, and go across to Crutch in the afternoon, and you get that kind of evening sun on the holes jutting out into the ocean. It's just an epic game of golf.
Do people play? I mean, I know not a lot of Americans play Crutch Island. Does it get a lot of play?
It does. It does. It's got very popular. Since Eric Anders Lang shone a light on a little bit. The Golfer's Journal. Nick Wall's been there with Air Swing Media a few times. Took some extraordinary drone footage. It is getting more and more play and getting more and more popular, and it's definitely something. If you're this far north, and it takes a lot to get here. So if you're coming here, it's definitely worth going to see.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming up there, you need to try to play all of them. Yeah. Obviously, stay at your place, play all of your golf courses. Go play Nairn and Portneuf and Port Salin and Crutch Island, and Ballylifton's obviously got great golf courses too. There's just a ton of good golf, and the thing I like most about the Northwest is it is off the beaten path. Right? It's not the place. Almost every American group instantly tries to run from Dublin north and do Portrush and County Down and all Portmarnock, or they go to the Southwest and do Tralee and Lahinch and Ballybunion and all those. But the Northwest is great. So, although all these compliments that we're saying about his place and the Northwest of Ireland, that whole I was in Philly for a day thing's still, it's just not sitting right here, but that's fine. It's fine. What is the one course in the States that you haven't played that you want to the most?
Probably after last month, it's Oakmont. I've never been to Oakmont. Or looking at your sweater, your hoodie, it's National Golf Links. Probably one of either of those.
Yeah, it's funny. I have those as I've said this to you before. I do think Pine Valley is the greatest golf course that's ever been created. I think Oakmont is 1B. I don't think it's 2. I think it's 1B. And National Golf Links of America is my favorite place. So what I always say, and this is a weird way of putting it, but if Pine Valley, the best place, and National, my favorite place, ever had a baby, it's Oakmont. Because somehow it can be world-class difficulty, yet somehow you can walk up 18 and enjoy it. Because there's times that you can walk, you've played Pine Valley, you can walk off Pine Valley, it's freaking hard, and you can be exhausted. It's a brutal golf course. Well, Oakmont's every bit as brutal, but somehow is as an invigorating walk as you can have in golf. So it's Oakmont's pretty special. So, you know what? Hey, if you would have called me when you're in Philly, maybe I would have introduced you to a guy. But
next time.
Yeah, we'll work on that another time. Well, cool, man. We're all excited to see the Open Championship back at Portrush. It is a deserving venue. I know there's a rumor about the Open Championship potentially going to another place in Ireland. I don't know if that's out there. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get anybody in trouble or whatever. But if the rumors are true, that will be an amazing place to watch an Open Championship. As I believe that place is one of the best links golf courses on the planet as well. So all eyes will be on golf in Ireland and Royal Portrush, and I'm super excited to see it. As a guy who doesn't gamble, I may go put some money on Tyrrell Hatton, and if I lose it, I'm just going to invoice you.
Do it, please. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I know that you can never escape. This is your busy time, but if you do get back to the States, let's make a trip. We'll go. We've got a couple of really good friends up at National, a couple of great friends over at Oakmont, and I'm sure that they love hosting. That they'd be down to host you if you get over here, but you'd have to call me to figure it out though.
To get their numbers.
Hey, tell everybody I said hello. Tell your bro to what's up. And are you going to go to the Open?
Yeah, I'm going to go at least one day. Hopefully the Friday. Maybe try and go the Sunday as well, but definitely the Friday.
Are you going to stay? What's the name of the places that we stayed? We should give her a shout
Currangate.
out.
No, I'll travel up and down the one day. Deirdre
really?
at Currangate. Yeah.
Deirdre at Currangate. Holy moly. When we stayed there for the member guest that we did, I've never had anybody take care of us. It was like having your mom travel with you. Like she was amazing. So Currangate, and Deirdre, if you need a place to stay in Portrush, it's spectacular. So John, thank you very much for coming on, brother.
Thank you, Ryan.
Catch up with you. Let's chat soon. I've got some other stuff that's not on video that we should talk about soon too.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Take it easy. Bye.
Cheers.